Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first, and I have a pretty ropey rack. Too many vowels and duplicate tiles. Should I change or play my way through it? I certainly want to play off an R, a U, and an E. Well, I could play urea for 8 points, keeping double ER. Let's see what this looks like. Well, it's not great. I think the choice is between doing this or changing. And I think this will lead to a more open board, which I'd like at the beginning of a game. Just pausing in case there's a way of playing off one more vowel. But I don't think there is. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't have a bingo, but I'm not swamped with vowels, and I've got the Z, which is a good scoring tile. It would be nice to play off the F as well. Froze is good, so is Forze. Forze takes no hooks, Froze takes an N. And refroze is also good. Zarf is good, Fez is good. And there are a number of other Z words which don't use the F. So I'm going to have to wait to see what my opponent does and then consider the options. Equal takes an I after it. I don't have an I as well as an S. Now what I could do is play freeze through the E of equal. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's see what this scores. AO, not a great leave, but if I want to play off the F and the Z, the only other constant to retain would be the R. So that would be 46 points, which is not bad. Can I do better than that? Well, yes, I may be able to, because I could put my Z here and play down. So I could play Zia, 45 points. But I think this rack leave is better than AO. It's much more balanced in terms of vowels and consonants. The F, although not a great tile, does balance the vowel-consonant ratio and can be used for scoring. And 4 with an E are both prefixes. So can I do better than Zia? L takes an A in front, so I could consider words beginning Z-A. Well, I can't think of an alternative word which is better. Again, I'm not really that close to a bingo, but it is balanced. I should be able to sort it out. Foy is a valid 3-letter word, and that would leave CEOR, which is a pretty good rack leave. Now my C can go in front of EL at J6, but can I play off another high-scoring tile? Nothing goes in front of ZAR. My Y or my E could go after the C. But I can't see any words beginning CY on my rack. And nothing good beginning CE. Well, Kero is good, but that keeps F and Y. I don't want to do that. Roofie, I think, is good. Urea takes an L and an S after it. I don't have either of those. Zia, well, that takes an L and an S after it, and likewise I don't have either of those tiles. Now, I haven't spotted any opportunities for doing anything yet. Well, Foy's available in row G for 18 points. That's not very much. Good. Only 21 points for my opponent. And my opponent has provided a place for Foy, which scores more row K, making Or and Yo. But does the R of roll give me a bingo? No, it doesn't. So, Foy, 30 points, that's a good score. I don't have any tiles which go in front of roll. D, P and T would work for that. So I can't see anything better. I'm just pausing in case I can play my C at J6, making cell, and then have a word coming down, C-E-L. But I'd want to place my F or my Y at N6. I can't see a way of doing that. Right. Am I getting towards bingo territory? This looks pretty promising. Through a T I would have aeroduct or educator. Now, with the board at the moment, there are no floating consonants, which is a shame because I have 4 vowels. So I'm unlikely to have a bingo through a vowel. But I do need to consider them in case I do have one. Well, I can't see anything through the available A and E. I'm pretty sure I don't have a 7-letter bingo. Would be high probability if I did. Sile 21, that's good. My opponent has provided an L. Does that work to give me a bingo? Don't think it does. The D and the U are not a good combination, and the U by itself is not good unless it goes with an N or to make out. Neither option is available. So this could be a tricky rack to resolve because I'm not likely to score very much. Now I do have a U for going after the Q, and well, UR is good. So have I got a play? Well, yes I do. I've got quoad across here. That's pretty good. It's going to score well. The rack leaves CER is okay. 23 points. Yeah, I think that is fine. I don't think I'm going to be able to score more in the same place. Just making sure I haven't got a bingo through that queue. Don't think I do. Wow. Haven't seen a blank for a while, and now I get 2. Concrew is good. Not sure if that plays. Not sure if there are any 7-letter bingo lanes on this board. Quoad takes nothing after it, so my play of Quoad has taken out the whole of the top right of the board. So the floaters are really the I, L and E of Sile. And with 2 blanks, I surely do have a bingo. It may be difficult to spot. The C and the W are not great tiles. There's also the E of equal, but that's not going to provide anything that the E of Sile doesn't provide. 2 blank racks are pretty tricky to to work your way through because you just haven't got time to consider every possibility for the blanks. And I'm not using pen and paper rather for this game. I'm just looking at the screen, so I'm going to have to do everything in my mind. But the E has got to be the best floater to consider. And with the W, I think I should be considering words with prefixes or suffixes ending, or which include a W. Now, what about caneware? C-A-N-E-W-E-A-R. Think that's good, and that does play. It does not play in row F. And it ends in an E, so I think I can play it here. What am I doing? I want this to be an A, so I'm zooming through the alphabet away from it. Caneware. I have some doubt about this. Sometimes with where words you can have the doubt because does it end W-A-R-E or W-E-A-R, but I'm pretty sure if this exists it does end A-R-E. 86 points is a big score. Yeah, I think I'm sufficiently confident of this. And if that stays on, I've got the J as a good scoring tile. Great, it stays on. Fantastic. Now, my J, can I place it at the triple letter square at N6? So, I'm looking for a word. Jebble. No, I have... Well, that spot's gone anyway. But there's also... I'm looking at... Yes! Oh, yes! Look at this. Benge. Fantastic. This is going to score loads. 58 points. It's great straight after a bingo to come in and have another massive score. Completely demoralising for the enemy. And Rackley's not too bad. Just having a quick scan. Don't want to miss something even better. But can't see it. Okay, so now I have a pretty strong lead. I have a 148 point lead. It's a tight board. Very few bingo lanes available. So I'm looking to keep the score rolling along. And I've got the K for score. £26 points for my opponent. Now, I can place a U underneath the X. But I haven't got a 6-letter word beginning with U. And, well, I've got several tiles which can go above the X, so I could play oaked, if that's good, and I think it is. Oh, what about auked? That would be much better if it's good. Think it's good. And I'm quite happy to be playing off a lot of tiles. This isn't particularly dangerous. It's providing a floating E and D, but out takes nothing at the end. Score of 29 points is good. I have awardee, but no 7-letter bingo lanes or no good lanes on this board. Row E is a bingo lane, ending above the B of Benge, but that would require a bingo which ended in an A or an O. No anagrams of awardee. Now, do I have a bingo through the D of out? Not so sure about all that. Great. Okay, so do I have something through that D? I'm thinking about words with award or ward, ending ward, or ending ED. Okay, I don't think there is something. What I could do is play warded. I'm a long way ahead. My opponent's got a V. He probably hasn't got a bingo. And this provides two openings. It provides column 15, and it also provides row O. It plays off a lot of tiles and it scores a lot of points. Now, what about awarded? 2 more points. Yeah, there's 3 A's unseen. I think that's got to be better than keeping 2 vowels. Maybe not. Okay, this isn't a great rack. It's clunky. It's got duplicates. It's difficult to sort out in one. And I can't really use the O15 spot, and my opponent will probably take out column 15, but he's unlikely to take it out with a bingo, which means that he'll be denying himself the sole bingo lane, which would be good for him. And if he doesn't take it, I will. Yeah, great, there it goes. And because he's starting his word with a V, no tile goes in front of it, so column 14 isn't available. So what do I do with this ghastly selection? 27 tiles left. That's actually quite a lot of tiles for a board this blocked. Now, can I really not use O15? Well, not sure I can. I don't want to keep double P, double T. Well, I say I don't mind the duplicate T, but there's 3 T's unseen, so it's just not good. What about playing down column 13? Nope, that's no good. I've got nothing to go in front of the W. I've only got 9.5 minutes left, so I have spent a fair bit of time. What I'd like to do is just play off a whole bunch of tiles, almost regardless of score. I don't really want to be wasting time on this rack. This is not a good rack. It's the sort of rack where you look at it and you just see nothing. Gosh. Well, I'm thinking about playing just peak down here. This is so bad. Just awful. 20 points. It does obstruct O15, but the rack lead is just asking for trouble next go. But I've only got 8.5 minutes left. What can I do that's better? I mean, what's good about it is that it's obstructive to the board. It's making the board even tighter. But to take full advantage of the tightness of the board, I need to not run into time trouble. Okay, I'm going to play this, but it's awful. Well, that's good. I kept 4 consonants. I've drawn 2 vowels, so I'm fortunate. Now, I could play Vega in row E, Vega and Ab. 20 points. Keeps double T, but that's... and there are 3 T's unseen, but 2 T's are livable with. Okay, so 7.5 minutes left. Do I have something better than Vigo? I note for future reference that Joe does take an S in front, so that may be something I can use later. Ox takes a V in front. Can't see a way of using that. So, Vega or Vegi? Well, it's got to be Vega. P double T. If I draw a vowel, I will not be in trouble. This does open up row D for a bingo beginning at D 5, 6 or 7, but I'm sufficiently far ahead to survive a bingo. Well, I have 1 vowel, which is good, and there are a lot of vowels left, especially I's. So provided I play off, say, 4 tiles, I'm likely to draw a vowel. Now, Certainly not a bingo with this rack. I could play path in row D above Vega. Let's see what that scores. Rack leaves fine. Got my S for going in front of Joe. This scores well, and the bingo lane in row C is harder to use than the one which was available in row D. I could play Gath in this spot, keeping PST. Okay, a lot of I's left, a lot of N's left. Maybe the G's a useful tile to keep. Yes, strings, row C, and sh. Well, may not stay available, but if it does, that's a bingo. So, well, fine, I've got ring toss in row B through the O of moth. And, it's ring toss and sortings. Sortings or storings? Pretty sure it's sortings. I'm going to have to dwell on this momentarily to satisfy myself. Sortings or storings? Sortings. I think it's sortings. It'll be irksome if this is wrong, because... but I'm pretty sure it's right. Okay. Yes, thank you. Right. Okay, I was slightly cross with myself for not having a greater degree of certainty over that. I've agonised for years over memorising if it's sortings or storings. It's certainly not both. So I was disappointed that I didn't have a higher degree of certainty, but that quite often happens when you're reviewing words. Certainty's there. In game time, that slight element of doubt creeps in. Now, 5 minutes left. No tiles in the bag. I can see what my opponent's got. He's got 3 eyes, which is good. He's not going out. I just noticed there is a bingo lane in column 2 onto the C of Cobb, but he does not have a bingo. I think the only bingo he's got that I can see would be insignia through an N. There isn't a floating N. So what I'm looking to do is go out in 2 and score as well as I can. How am I going to do that? I'm looking at the top right, but sortings has 3 consecutive consonants. That makes it pretty difficult to deal with. And to go out in 2, I need to play off 4 or 5 tiles. Can't play in row C above PI. Wonder if I can play down in column 12. Word beginning in. Well, actually this isn't particularly... Well, this may be atrocious. 9th, keeping double IE. That's only good if I can go out with EII. Well, I can't. So, how do I go out in 2? What about playing hind? That leaves me with tine. Okay, I'm looking around to see if I can play that. Don't think I can. So, this didn't look too problematic, but it is. Well, I will play hind if I can't see anything better. Okay, can't see anything through the M. Well, that does look alluring. Well, there's nothing there. If I had 4 letters ending C, 5-letter word ending in C, which play off 4 tiles, I could perhaps have 2 openings in column 1 and column 2. Then I could look to play off the other 3 somewhere else. I'm also looking around to see if there's anywhere my H can go, because that is a good scoring tile. But I can't see anything. And I've only got 2 minutes left. Well, Theic is good. Okay, so I'd have to play off N-I-N somewhere. Well, Gin is good. So, Gin down here, only 10 points, but then I've got Theic in columns 1 and 2, or Ethic. Okay, Ethic or Theic, and Gin is good. I've got 2 minutes left. So is there somewhere better for I-double-N? Well, there may be. So do I play Theic or Ethic? I have a slight doubt about Theic, but if I play Theic, I can place my H at L1 and get it doubled. I think it's good. It's important not to run away from doubt, because otherwise it's very easy to feel doubt, play the words only that you're certain of, and then you're playing too far within yourself. And especially in a position like this where the win isn't compromised, you should hone your doubt management skills. Now, is there anywhere else on the board? Sometimes when you have a doubt over a word, there's a playable word elsewhere which scores more. Well, Thine is playable at the moment in row D. Opponents quite often play just where you've played. They're drawn by the new opportunities. But right now, Thine is playable through the N of Gin. 16 points, which is actually... great, not taken. So, just checking my opponent's words, and good job too. Look at that, N-I. That's coming off. Great. So, thine rather, 16 points. Does it have any anagrams? Can it stretch to the double letter square at D15? I think it's just thine and thean. Okay. So, just waiting for my opponent to end the game, which he does. And the final score, 232 to my opponent, 498 to me, a winning margin of 266. So a huge game. Let me just reply to my opponent. And let's see what I missed. So, me to go first. Ooh, invalid words played. Out. Out was not good. Okay, got away with one there. Now, there were 5-letter words playable, keeping E, U. Yeah, I think probably urea is comparable, not noticeably worse. This is where I played Zia, and that looks best. Foy for 30, that was my play. Great, nothing missed here. Could have played quad instead of quoad, keeping the A. That would have been worth doing because race is a lot stronger than CER. The A really complements CER. So although quad and quoad score the same, I think quad is significantly better. Clownery, that's a nice word. N7 through the L of Sile. Caneware, only 2 points less. And a number of other bingos. Goodness knows how many of those I would have spotted if caneware hadn't sprung to mind. It's nice to have 2 blanks, but it's bad as well. It's a bit of mental overload coping with that degree of choice. Benj, 58. Delighted to have gotten that down and not to have missed it. This is where I played out, and uked was playable, or oaked. So probably the course of confusion, but it was a bingo. I did get away with it. It was a phony rather, and I got away with it. Now, this is where I played awarded. I had a wardie and it wouldn't go down. And this was probably the worst rack in the whole game. It's a very, very difficult rack to deal with. And if you look at the scores, they're all really low, only 1 over 20. Then look at the rack leaves, all pretty dire. And that's why this was a bad rack to deal with. Very difficult to identify what's best when both the score and the rack leave are poor. Now what did I do? I did peak for 20, keeping GPTT. Yeah, probably pretty comparable to the other options. Maybe peak for 18, keeping the E would have been better. Another tricky rack, but Vega meant that I didn't have to spend too much time agonising over it. Oh gosh, Thofts, where is that being played? Oh, I see. Yeah, column 3, making trolls. I didn't consider that line as an opportunity for score, but 38 points were available. Instead, I got 25 for path, which does have some merit. I don't think the gap is going to be 13 points in terms of running simulations. Now, sortings and ring toss were the only bingos. Yeah, just checking that ring toss didn't get doubled, and it didn't. My opponent was played with eyes. And, well, Hind is being shown there for 16, but EINT, I'm not sure that there were outs in 2 spots for that, so I'm not convinced Hind is best. And I like Gin. And finally, could I have scored 18 points, which would have taken me to 500? No, Hind 16 was the highest scoring out. So, pretty exciting game, nearly 500 points scored, massive winning margin of over 200 points. You measure your satisfaction in a game both by the number of hundreds of points that you score, with 500 being better than 400, being better than 300, etc., but also by the spread, with a spread of 100 being satisfying, spread of 200 being extra satisfying, and so on. So this game was good on both counts, and I think it was a pretty enjoyable game with some nice racks to consider and only one real nightmare of a rack. So I hope you got something out of that and enjoyed watching the game. My name is David Webb. This has been a video for Dweebovision.